The house still smelled of incense and ash. Father's photograph rested against the wall, a garland of marigolds already beginning to dry. His eyes in the picture looked calm, too calm for a man whose absence had just turned the house into a battlefield. The mourning period had barely begun. The last of the guests had just left their quiet condolences fading into the street, but inside, the first fight had already arrived. "It was my money that paid for the cremation," the eldest son said, his voice sharp, breaking the heavy silence. "If you hadn't delayed, I wouldn't have had to step in," the younger one replied, his words laced with accusation. Their sister sat in the corner, clutching the edge of her dupatta, her eyes swollen from crying. No one even looked at her. The neighbors had gone back to their lives. Only the children remained standing in the void where their father once stood, a space they were now desperately trying to fill. "I arranged the priest," one brother declared. "I stayed up all night with the body," the other shot back. "And who brought the wood? Who spoke to the relatives?" The words came fast, competitive, calculated. It was as if the funeral were a transaction, a ledger of duties performed, as if their grief could be tallied and measured, and a winner declared. The sister finally spoke, her voice trembling but clear. "Can we not do this today?" No one listened. Their argument was a storm, and her small voice was lost in the wind. "I was closer to him," one brother insisted. "I took care of him for years," the other retorted. "You were barely even around." The sister looked at the photograph. Her father had always hated loud voices, especially inside the house. She remembered how he used to sit quietly during their childhood arguments, rubbing his forehead, just waiting for the noise to die down. He believed silence could fix things. But today, silence had no power. "You think lighting the pyre makes you the better son," one brother snapped. "At least I was there at the hospital," the other yelled back. "And where were you when he needed medicines?" That was it. The sister stood up. Her legs shook, but her resolve was firm. "Stop," she said, her voice cutting through the anger. They both turned toward her, their faces etched with annoyance, as if she were interrupting something important. "Do you know what Baba said to me last month?" she continued, her gaze steady. The room fell quiet. She wiped a tear from her cheek. "He said, 'When I die, don't fight over me. I won't be there to stop you.'" The silence was deafening, but only for a moment. "That's just emotional drama," one brother muttered, looking away. "Facts matter. Facts." The sister let out a soft, broken laugh. "Facts. You want facts?" She walked toward her father's photograph. "Fact is, Baba sold his watch to pay for your college fees." She turned to the other brother. "Fact is, he skipped his own medicines so you could send your children to a better school." They stared at her, stunned into silence. The facts they were arguing about seemed so small now. "You both talk about who did more after he died," she said, her voice cracking, "but neither of you counted what he did while he was alive." She took a deep breath. "Do you know what Baba asked me the night before he died?" No one spoke. The air was thick with unspoken words. He asked, "Will they fight?" She whispered. "Not about money, not about property." He asked if you would fight over him. The brothers finally looked away, guilt creeping into their faces, slow, heavy, and unwanted. "He was worried," she continued. "Worried that his death would just turn into another competition for you, both." She gently picked up the garland from the photograph and straightened it. He didn't care who paid. He didn't care who lit the fire. He cared that you would stand together. Tears streamed down her face now, but she didn't wipe them away. "Today was supposed to be the day we lost our father," she said, her voice full of sorrow. "Instead, it became the day we lost ourselves." The eldest brother slowly sat down on the floor, his shoulders slumping. His voice was low, defeated. "I didn't mean to fight." The younger one clenched his fists, not in anger anymore, but in regret. I didn't want to feel like I did less." The sister nodded. "That's the cruel part," she said softly. "Death makes everyone feel small, and instead of holding each other up, we try to prove our own worth." She paused, looking at them both. "Baba spent his whole life making sure we never felt less." Silence filled the room again. But this time it was different. It was heavier. It was real. The eldest brother walked toward the photograph and folded his hands. "I'm sorry, Baba," he whispered. "Not for the funeral, for forgetting you while we were fighting over you." The younger brother joined him. Then, so did the sister. 3 children, standing before the man who raised them, finally united in their grief, but too late to have him see it. Outside, the world moved on. Inside, grief had finally arrived not as anger, not as competition, but as a profound shared loss, because the most painful truth often comes quietly. The first fight after a parent's death is never really about the rituals. It's about the terrifying fear of realizing that the person who held the family together is gone. Now, no one knows how to stand on their own without them. Thank you for watching. If this story touched you, please share it with someone who might need to hear it. And don't forget to subscribe for more stories that make us think and feel.